Paula Abdul was an absolute nobody when she started in the industry, but with her sheer grit and determination, she went from being a cheerleading underdog to a pop sensation, topping charts and stealing hearts with her steps. But suddenly, when her career was at its peak, she vanished. Many people thought she was trying to recuperate from work stress and a supposed ugly plane crash, but the real truth behind her disappearance was much more sinister than that. In this video, we will share all the little-known details, reveal what really happened with that mysterious plane crash, and also show you some of her rare photos. With that said, let's get started. 10-year-old Paula Abdul became inspired to a career change after she saw Gene Kelly in the 1952 film Singing in the Rain. She wanted to be a dancer. So, with her parents' approval, she began to take dance lessons in ballet, jazz, and tap. Paula trained so hard that by the time she was 15, many dance camps wanted her. Her work in school would also complement her feet-tapping abilities, and with that, she won a scholarship to study at the Palm Springs dance camp. And according to many sources, this was when her career started in earnest. At Palm Springs dance camp, Paula made her first film appearance in the low-budget independent musical film Junior High School. This was great, but at the time, she wasn't sure if she wanted to be an actress. But the next thing that happened to her made her even more fully aware of her talents and abilities. There were 700 candidates for the cheerleading squad, but Paula emerged as the lead girl for the Laker girls. This changed her life forever. The following year, she was announced as head choreographer. At this point, Paula just knew that the world couldn't resist her. Shortly after this, Paula got invitations from the Jackson, the American pop band. They wanted her to do choreography for their single, Torture. Paula did a great job for them, but something happened to her after her time with the Jacksons. Now, she didn't want just to be a dancer. She wanted to sing too. So, in 1987, Paula invested her life savings into her singing demo. That didn't seem like a good idea at that time, and the results will prove it as the song quickly faded a few months after its release. But there was a consolation. Paula was able to secure a signing with Jeff Irov's Virgin Records. There, Paula started putting in the work to develop her voice, and fortunately for her, it paid off. In 1988, she released her debut studio album, Forever Your Girl, and it became the most successful debut album in history at the time, reaching #1 on the Billboard 200 chart after 64 weeks. Hits like Straight Up, Forever Your Girl, Cold Hearted, and Opposites Attract spent weeks on the top of individual charts. The album was later certified 7 times platinum by the RIAA. Life had never been better for Paula Abdul, who also secured an Oscar for Best Music Video for her song, Opposite Attracts. The singer continued her success with the release of her second studio album, Spellbound, with hits like Rush Rush and The Promise of a New Day, stamping her name in some of the fanciest headlines in the industry. For all her achievements so far, Paula was then honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in December 1991. And unfortunately, that was when her trouble started in earnest. She just somehow disappeared for a very long time. According to the tabloids, Paula Abdul went on a hiatus because she sought treatment for personal and physical issues. Although there's an element of truth to this, but the main detail of it is much more deeper than that. And over the years, private investigators have come up with even more logical reasons that explain some of the deepest mysteries of her life. Well, since 2003, Paula has been vocal about the trauma she suffered after a plane crash. According to her, this was the reason why she withdrew from the spotlight. According to her, she escaped an ugly plane crash during her 1992 Under the Spell tour. "I didn't have my seatbelt on, and I hit my head on the top of the plane, and that went on to... I withstood 15 cervical spinal surgeries, and I had to take 7 years off," she said. But the thing is, through the years, many publications have come out to question the authenticity of Paula's plane crash story, and it's hard to blame them. There were so many reasons not to believe her. The first was that no news outlet covered the alleged crash, and the National Transportation Safety Board has no records of a plane crash that happened at the time Paula claimed it did. Also, the singer has continued to go back and forth about how long the flight was on air before it started experiencing complications. In some interviews, she said it was 30 minutes, but in her later discussions, she claims that it was 40. Anyway, after so many years of debating, Paula is no longer keen on sharing her side of the story anymore. All she knows is that she survived a tragic plane crash. But the question is, does it have anything to do with her becoming a drug addict in the eye of the media? Well, it is not very uncommon to find singers who patronize all kinds of performance drugs to help with the stress of public expectations. But the thing is, most of them actually own it, and some source for a way to break away from it. But for Paula, she has refused to accept that she uses drugs of any kind, even after being caught several times exhibiting the side effects of some very dangerous substances. As a matter of fact, in February 2007, Paula told US Weekly that she had never been drunk or used illegal drugs, calling all the allegations lies. But something very interesting happened in 2005. Just around April 2005, allegations arose as to what some described as erratic behavior by Paula Abdul during episodes of American Idol. But the actress denied all of it. She claimed that it was only a side effect of an anti-inflammatory medication. She was forgiven, but it would still happen again. 2 years later, the actress was caught on camera again, swaying in her chair as she expressed difficulties in articulating her speech. Her publicist came out with claims that she was tired and there were technical difficulties, saying that was why she was behaving like that. It was not until May 2009 that the real truth became public. In 2009, Ladies' Home Journal published an article that claimed that Paula told them that she stayed at the La Costa Resort in California to recover from physical dependence on prescription pain medication. This forced Paula into a tight spot, and this was when she revealed that she had medications that made her get weird sometimes. Interestingly, a week after her public confession, Paula accepted an interview with Detroit radio station WKQI, and in that interview, she refuted everything that the article said about her. According to her, she has never checked into a rehab center or had a drug abuse problem. But by 2004, Paula Abdul's mental condition had become a serious concern for many people after she almost crashed a car along the Los Angeles area freeway. The authorities reported that the singer was on the freeway with her Mercedes-Benz when she suddenly tried to change lanes. This was when her vehicle forcefully collided with another vehicle, and Paula immediately fled the scene. Unfortunately for her, the driver and the passenger were able to take a quick photograph of her license plate number, which helped in her arrest and getting her charged to court. The court demanded that she pay $775 for damage to the other car. After that, she was given 24 months of informal probation after she pleaded no contest to misdemeanor hit-and-run driving. And when it comes to her relationships, Paula Abdul has been married twice, and the two ended faster than she or anyone expected. Her first marriage was to actor Emilio Estevez. They met just as her career was blossoming, and it really looked like love that would last forever. Fans argued that it was supposed to, but Emilio and Paula wanted different things. The couple married in 1992, and 2 years later, they called it quits. At first, Paula refused to reveal the reason for their separation, but with increasing pressure from the media, she was forced to crack. According to her, Emilio didn't want to have kids with her, and she desperately desired this. The actor already had 2 children from his previous relationship, and he felt like it was too much work to procreate with Paula. That was what tore them apart. It was heartbreaking for us both, Paula told Entertainment Weekly. Her second marriage was with businessman Brad Beckerman. Unfortunately, this was going to be another short one. The couple divorced after 17 months of marriage, and they cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for separation. Another Paula Abdul romance that few people know about is with JT Torregiani. The media project him as her on and off boyfriend. The first time they got together was in 2007, but things didn't work out, as Torregiani went on to date Cheryl Burke. But they got back together in 2014, and that was when JT told OK Magazine that Paula was a very nurturing partner. According to him, she was the best among the many women he had been with. Paula reciprocated, and she confessed that JT was her best friend. Still, this wouldn't lead to anything serious. By 2020, we didn't even know if they were still together or not, until recent reports revealed that Paula Abdul is currently single and she intends to keep her dating life private. But that is just a scratch on the crazy stuff that happened to her recently. On November 11th, 2008, Paula found a dead 30-year-old woman outside her home in California. She called the cops, and eventually, the death was ruled out as self-termination by drug overdose, as she was found with prescription pills, along with photos and CDs of Paula. This was when things got even more weird. With further investigation, the authorities were able to connect the missing dots in this story, and that was when they announced that the dead woman, who was identified as Paula Godspeed, was an obsessive fan of Paula Abdul. In fact, she had legally changed her name to Paula, drawn many pictures of the singer, and sent flowers to her too. In the end, Godspeed was accused of celebrity stalking, but her family strongly disputed the claim. These days, Paula Abdul continues to try to keep up with the same things that made her famous while shielding as much of her private life from the media as she needs to. Today, she is a celebrated American singer, dancer, choreographer, actress, and television personality. Paula Abdul, now 62, is living her best life in her quiet California residence. She continues to make television appearances as much as her schedule and age allow. Last we checked, the actress has an estimated net worth of $20 million.